Morning everybody, my name is Will McDonald here in South Australia, in Adelaide. Today is Sunday, June 7th, and I'm here to talk about paintball collections, jerseys, that sort of thing. First up, if stream is offline at the moment, Spell says. I got green, please try again later. Okay, forgive me for that. Worried I might be having some technical difficulties, so I see Bell's back live in the chat. Let me know if there's any issues with the audio. I think my microphone was doing some strange things earlier. As I said, I've got Bell, Ching in the chat from New South Wales, and my parents dutifully in the chat as well. Sounds like it's all working now. Okay, sweet. Before I forget, I just want to give a shout out to Bree Adams. Apparently it's her birthday today. Happy birthday, Bree. And as some of you who are fans of the game would know, that the Ultimate Shootout is on right now. It was supposed to start about a half an hour ago. They've got a lot of nerve competing with me, and apparently they've got the word and they've delayed their cast a little bit because it hasn't started yet. Today was supposed to be BJ Hedingberg versus Ryan Hall, two AC Dallas players, but that hasn't gone live yet, so I don't know what the deal is there. And in case you didn't know, there's also in a couple of weeks a new league starting up, Pro Tour 7-man, which is an uncapped semi tournament, and it's not open to the pros just yet, but it could be interesting. Different format, 7-man, and also it's uncapped semi, and a lot of people have been kind of calling for that. It sort of highlights a different skill set that was maybe made redundant when we went to ramping, so that'll be cool to see how that takes. Okay, now I've got a few cool things to share with you today, so I want to try to stay on track here. I reached out to Pete Russell, Paintball Pete, a little while ago because after he did an interview with Dwayne on PBHQ, he mentions having like 60 odd jerseys or something, and I said, hey, maybe you and I can chat sometime. And that's where I just left it. I just said, hey, maybe we can chat sometime, and he's like, yep, just let me know. And I have to chase a few people about this sort of thing, but a little bit of time passed, and out of nowhere, I just got a little video from Pete, which I'm going to share with you right now.
Hi, mate. But on that left-hand side, that's 19 ref jerseys from around the world, NXL, AXL here in Australia, Super 7s, so many different things. Some other jerseys people have given me, some of the teams I've played in and whatnot, but you spoke about pick two jerseys. I thought, well, I'll pick two jerseys. One's a Dynasty jersey, an original in the early playing days, Josh Rao, and when I was fortunate enough to be one of the head refs in the semi-pros at PAL Series, their main World Cup.
So you may know Pete is our Australian legend of paintball. He helped found Refs Inc. and then he moved over to the States. So that video would be from over there in the States, where he runs a field and he's involved in all things paintball over there. And that was very generous of you, Pete. Thank you for taking the time to do that. And that's quite a collection. That Yosh Rao jersey is from 2005, in case you were interested. Let's see. Yeah, Dwayne, Josh Rao. Yeah, it's definitely Yosh Rao. I think maybe Pete was just a little bit flustered, but or maybe Yosh's younger brother. Let's see, what else have we got here? So I've also got this DMG jersey. So this DMG jersey was Thomas Kim's when he was the captain of DMG, and maybe 2015, I'm making that up, when they won the divisional ranks, like Div 1 or semi-pro, whatever it's called, and advanced to the pro level in NXL. And this was contributed by, hang on, let me just get my notes. I know David Hall's name, I just want to have my notes here. It was contributed by David Hall, and the reason I wanted to mention him is because he is the interview with Scotty Martin this week on Down Under Paintball. Now, I have to say, I haven't listened to this one just yet, but I do know that, so David lives in Tasmania, and he talks a lot about the culture down in Tasmania, the paintball culture in Tasmania, where it's the gun laws are very restrictive, and I think paintball was only just legalized in 2015. So I haven't listened to it yet, but from what I understand, you can learn a lot about how the culture down there is flourishing and doing their best, even despite these sort of restrictive gun laws. So get around that. David's a good guy. And just another shout out about Thomas Kim. I did sit down and do a Center 50 interview with him a few years ago at Super Sevens. And that's on my YouTube channel, so you should check that out. The guy just is one of the most passionate paintball guys that I know. All right, what else have we got? Okay, so we'll talk about PBHQ for just a moment because Dwayne is, I presume, going live again tomorrow, though last time I checked, he didn't know who he was talking to, so Dwayne's just getting a little bit loose at the end of his isolation. I'm sure he's going to pull something engaging together, so just watch this space. And last week he was generous enough to reach out to me to be on his show, which was awesome. And that meant a lot to me, and that was a lot of fun. But part of that was a chat he and I were having about his making a contribution to this show, which I'm going to show part of right now because he and I got on a bit of a roll and it went for a little while. So I've cut it in two. So come and have a moment in Dwayne's studio. Okay, cool. So I got Dwayne here. I'm hanging out in his studio, and he's going to run me through some of his jersey collection here. Now, you've shown me a few of these just last night. You were whipping through some of them. You got a pretty sweet collection there. I don't,
yeah.
You know, however much you want to take time to go through, I'm going to welcome.
I think it'd be best to start with the my personal ones. That's sort of where the story started for me, I suppose. So, and the very first one is the very first Asylum jersey. So I'll see if I can get that in better in frame there for you. So the very first Asylum jersey, we went for like the ransom note sort of look there. Adam Connolly do this, and Andrew Buey, who was working at Paintball Shop at the time. So yeah, that was a Paintball Assassin jersey, a really good job. It's got like a straight jacket.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was pretty fitting, we thought. And a lot of the guys, the original guys, really love those ones and still wear them at trainings to this day. The second Asylum jersey, of the three, I actually don't know where mine's got to. So if someone on Asylum has it in their gear bag or in their cupboard somewhere, that'd be pretty cool if I got that one back. Couldn't tell you where it is. But this, like the shirt that I'm wearing, this is the current Asylum design. And this one, Chris Dickens from over in WA is responsible for this. This is an Anthrax jersey. And man, Chris just knocked it out of the park. We love these ones. They're so cool. Not only that, it'll be really hard to pick up on the screen, but there's a lot of text along the bottom. And I told him that I wanted the idea of some crazy writing along the bottom. And he went and literally studied online for a number of hours, journals of mental institution, like patients.
Yeah.
And they're direct quotes from some of those.
Yeah.
As well as some Easter eggs that I specifically asked to be put in there. So next time you see Asylum at an event, if we're wearing these ones at the time,
I'll get a closer look
to point out some of the little Easter eggs that are in there. Just a quick one here. Asylum got to the point where we had so many players that we started up a second team that was called Prophecy. It was, the whole idea of a prophecy being the future and what's to come. So they were like the Asylum players of the future. I got that one done through Drom at the time. And then the original OG Eskimos that you would have seen with Jonesy, much like him, I've got one of the originals, the first run of these that were ever made. Jamie and I have known each other. He was pretty much the first guy in paintball that I ever got to know. And when he said he was doing something and wanted people to buy their jerseys, I was all in. It wasn't a question. And then the last two are pretty special. Anthrax, with PBHQ, I've worked with Anthrax quite a bit. And they released a special PBHQ jersey, but this particular one, that's not hanging very well there. This particular one is a one-of-one, and it is the special, let me see if I can get that there.
Yep.
So episode 100 on April 9, 2018, so two bit years ago, I did episode 100, and they made me a commemorative jersey for that. And then again, with Anthrax, they were telling me how many various nations jerseys that they're making, and they asked if I could put them in touch with who would be, the association or the principal body or whoever is the people to speak to as far as an Australian jersey might be concerned. And we don't really have anything like that in Australia. There's not like a selection criteria or anything like that. So I told them that it might be best just to make a supporter jersey. And I was really adamant about that so that people that bought them couldn't claim that they once played for Australia. So I made sure that they put supporter jersey on the inside of every collar. If you want to tell your grandkids down the road one day that you played paintball for Australia, you most certainly can, but not with this jersey at least. So it's just a supporter jersey. They sent me the design and I did not make one single change. They nailed it the moment they sent it to me. And yeah, again, just quality that you would expect. Then some US pros. Bought this one from Khan up in Queensland. It's a Houston Heat Ronnie Dizon jersey. Ronnie's an absolute killer. He's been out to Australia a number of times. Heat are one of the best teams in the world. It just made sense as far as content for me to have up in the background of the show from time to time, to have a Heat jersey, particularly when they win so many events.
Not to mention that Ronnie Dizon produces some really high quality content, and so it'd be a similar ilk in some ways. Yeah.
I mean, if you haven't checked out his YouTube channel, you definitely should. There's so much content there, you could spend days on end checking that out. A former teammate of his got an old Fedorov when he was with Russian Legion jersey there. Pretty cool old school Russian Legion jersey, not the real old school like pajama style ones that the Russians used to wear back in their MacDev days. So yeah, a nice Fedorov jersey there. I know that there's a lot of people that would like to have a Fedorov jersey, and I probably didn't understand how great he was. This was one of the first ones I bought when I bought it. But yeah, man, unbelievable player. Really cool piece to have.
You've heard me talk.
So I've got an Impact jersey. This one is one of Rainey's. I think now the person I bought this off, I'm pretty sure they said that Rainey, I can't remember if he won an event in this jersey or got a podium in this one. I'd have to check with the man himself. Again, someone that I've had on the show, someone who's also been out to Australia a number of times. Absolute incredible player. Really nice dude too. So that's a cool one. Again, Impact at the time that I bought this, they were winning just about everything. So it was pretty good to have that up in the background of the show. This one's probably the most recent addition to the collection that I have. Marcelo Margot Ironman jersey, Andrew Lynn from New Zealand. He came up to me at the last round of sevens last year at Masters, I think it might have been, and just said I'd given a shout out that I was looking for more jerseys. He said, hey, I've got this Marcelo, signed Marcelo Ironman jersey. It's all yours. So yeah, really cool. And
very generous.
Ultralight, yeah, so generous. The ultralight jerseys, I mean, that's up there with those Anthrax super light ones. Speaking of an Anthrax one coming out, whoops, just dropped one too. This one I wanted to make sure I got. It was the last one available of this. So Joy Division, iconic team. Everybody loves Joy Division. 100%. I think pretty much worldwide. Axel Gordon spent a year playing with Joy Division because they were heading out to the US to play. He played in Europe with Tauntauns, of course. With the rule changes and European teams not being able to play, US teams not playing in Europe and whatnot, Axel had to pick which team to play with for this season, as interrupted as it has been. And of course, he stayed with Tauntauns, so there will never be, well, not this season or not this design at least, there won't be another Axel Gordon Joy Division jersey because he's back with the Tauntauns. So I made sure to get that one. And yeah, if you put these pros together that I've got here, there's a pretty stellar lineup.
Yeah. Whoops. So thanks for that, Dwayne. That was just half of my chat with Dwayne. He's got a pretty sweet jersey collection, and he was generous enough to take time to share that with me. He's making comments about being long-winded in the chat, but no, it was definitely good. It was spot on. And I got my buddy Easy, who's just joined us in the chat as well. Thanks for being here, Easy. Okay, so now I just want to talk to you about the jersey that I have to share today. This is an important jersey to me. I'm pretty proud of this jersey. And it is a Blake Yarber jersey, which I'll share with you in a second, but just a bit of a lead up. So I met Blake in maybe 2017 when I was at Super Sevens, and I was doing some videography, and I was trying to put together a bit of a, I don't want to say documentary, but I was trying to put some sort of production together. And he joined me for, sitting in and having sort of an interview. It was just meant to give me some cutaways from the footage, from the action, but he and I ended up talking for quite a bit. I see Easy's noticing the Hurt and Feelings shirt, which I'm wearing this for a very specific reason I'll get to in a moment. And I don't know if you know this, but Blake Yarber, who plays for Dynasty, he's a champion of the game. He came up through the pump scene, and I'm a pump player, as is my boy Easy in the chat. And we played for RC Army Rockin' Cox back in the day. And in my conversation with Blake, I wanted to kind of bring that up because I knew he was a pump guy. And in my chat with him, he acknowledged that he knew the Rockin' Cox, that kind of blew me away. And so we started talking about the old days of pump, and it was just awesome. This sort of formal interview just faded away, and next thing you know, we're just sitting there talking about pump paintball, and it was awesome. So then maybe a year or so later, I was at home watching Super Sevens, and I was, in the chat, as I often am. And Yarber and Maka and Wybrew were in the booth chatting, and that's when this happened. Bear with me.
Blake Yarber put it. And Rockin' Cox jersey.
Wow.
Just
fantastic.
We're going to try that again. Hold up.
Blake Yarber, probably one of the few people who would appreciate that I just picked up a Total Brief jersey and Chicken Nuggets jersey to go with my LA Hitman jersey and Rockin' Cox jersey.
Wow.
Just
fantastic.
Just need a Gat Factory now.
I have one.
Blake is very impressed.
That's an impressive collection. Those are legends.
Ron King says 10.5 BPS. No, man. This is
Who was that wrote that comment?
That was William McDonald.
William McDonald. Get at me.
From South
I got
Australia.
a nice one for you. Get at me. Nice collection.
So, showing off to Blake that I'd collected a few pump jerseys, largely with the help of Krispy Kreme from back in the States. I listed off a few of them, and he was like, "Rightio, I've got another one for you." So he and I started chatting a little bit, and he was pretty well ready to just give me his old school Gat Factory pump jersey. I don't know the date of this, but this would be from a while ago. This thing is huge, as was customary back in the day. Nice and bouncy. Where are we at? So he played for a team called Team Gat, or Gat Factory. And they did scenario, they did like semi, they did tournament, and they also had a pump team. And he said, yep, next sevens, I'll see you there. I'll bring you a Gat jersey. So he brought me one of his old Gat Factory team jerseys, which is pretty awesome. Now, most people wouldn't know, honestly, most people probably wouldn't know this team. They wouldn't appreciate it. But again, this falls into the category of that doesn't matter to me because that's an amazing jersey to me personally. And I think it's pretty sweet. And it's very telling of Blake that he was like, yep, I got you. So, you know, he didn't ask me for any money or anything like that, but we just chatted a little bit, and we came up with a little bit of a deal. And I was pretty stoked after the fact to be watching some of the Sevens broadcasts later on and see, here's a screenshot of Blake coaching the Expendables. That's who he was playing for here, the Expendables. And I took this screenshot at the time. This was after the fact. I was just kind of coming back and watching some of the action I didn't get the chance to watch because I think this was the time I was at Sevens taking photos. And in retrospect, just watching the videos, I noticed this footage of him coaching the Expendables in the pits. And there you can see him wearing a Hurtin' Feelings jersey, which was part of our trade. And that blew my mind that not only did he accept that, but then immediately put it on and went to work in the Expendables pits. I thought that was pretty sweet. So anyway, that is my Blake Yarber Gat Factory team jersey. And that is all I've got for you guys today. So I've been collecting a few of these like little interviews with other people showing off their jerseys, and I hope you guys find that engaging. It's really helping me sustain kind of these chats here. Without Dwayne today, this would have been a pretty short episode, though I am pretty psyched with you know, the content I had around Blake. And today is my 10th episode, so it's a pretty good timing to have some good content. That's all I got for you guys. Thank you, Dwayne and Easy and Belle and Mom and Dad and anyone else who might be watching from home. I appreciate your time. It makes it so much more fun when I see you guys in the chat. Everybody have a safe week, and I will see you all next week.